Yeah, well, that was your protocol 3 doggy treats. Sure, you're gonna always have more, but okay. Try to throttle back a bit. So, Mach. Well, see, always friggin' learning. Always learning. Since making the last video I uploaded, I have come across that the M in Mach, M-A-C-H, stack, doesn't stand for MongoDB. It stands for microservices. And this smacks up against concepts that I've been thinking about over the last year or two, last few months, with agents. Because with a society of agents, with a society of minds, you want to have things broken up into little agents as much as possible. It takes you beyond APIs as we become decentralized. And of course, by decentralized, you have to be talking about distributed. And you're looking for opportunities for parallel computing because when you can get parallel computing, incredibly powerful. So microservices, huh? What are they? I don't know yet. This guy I've got on my other computer here is telling me about it. But 21st century paradigm, this is the way to be thinking about these things these days, I guess. So this is cool because I've been thinking about it, but I'm always grateful when someone else is doing the work. So I can ride on their work. They can just jump on the tail of their star or their comet or vector or whatever, I guess, huh? Um, so not only I've gotten to the point recently of thinking, well, you should think about agents in terms of, in a programmatical sense, like function calls, especially in an object-oriented paradigm. Um, as much as you can, you want to make functions a utility that is wholly unto itself. That is, go for the black box. You got input, you got output, in between you've got a black box, which means keep it as isolated from outside that black box. That's why it's black, as you can. And you've got it all through programming now. It's why when you start looking into programming in, like, say, Solidity, you keep hearing them talk about things like hard hat and stuff. These are kind of like dynamic linked libraries. I mean, to use archaic term, you could say they're libraries for you to use. If you've got hard hat installed, you've got certain things available to you programmatically that you don't need to implement, that you don't need to concern yourself with, ideally. Um, and that's, in that sense, it's kind of a platform, and that's where it's going. 2024, 2020s, 21st century, it's time to migrate away from the centralized platforms like Google and Microsoft and Amazon and Meta. And sorry guys, you're very big and powerful, you make a lot of money, but that's not where it's at moving forward. And more, anybody can do it for themselves, which is a phenomenon I've seen innovation wise happen time and time again. And here we are. This is the latest pass. I guess my perspective tends to be when I look at something going on, especially profitably, I think we can do that. We're not doing anything anybody else could do. Oh yeah, the barrier of venture capital, and I think I might have that licked too. Um, don't sell your intellectual property. License your intellectual property. Yeah, so monthly we release issues of NFTs, and we want to try to make those have persistence, immortality, separate from us. And so, say we make a run of 1,000 of a particular issue, and yes, so you need to own that to read it. You don't have rights to reproduce it or publish it. We still retain that. So, you just have to trust us. We reserve the right to reprint, but we don't intend to. And in the name of scarcity, it's better if we don't. So we have to have this corporate culture of releases, and we move on to the next release. Always moving on to the next release. Probably have half a dozen in the queue already coming down the line. So really it becomes kind of mechanical as a monthly production or publishing routine. We want to be careful with our internet presence, with our branding, with our promotions. Don't I mean, titrate it. Titrate it. Airdrops. Airdrops are incredibly powerful right now, both ways, as a recipient, and if you're going to have a token as a bribe. Because the way a lot of these ICOs are going these days, they reserve enough tokens to basically bribe their stakeholders. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I was going to say users. So 1,000 released, and that's all there ever will be as far as we're concerned. We don't need to care because we're moving on to the next one. So there's always more. Oh yeah, yeah. You want to reserve a certain amount of tokenize. Jen, come on. Tokenization. That's a whole area there that we can discuss. And I'll let Jen out and come back. Bounce.